Game 1 of the 2023 NBA Finals is in the books, and Denver dominated the Heat for the most part. I know the end of the score was close, but Timothy Buckets just didn't have a fantastic game. Bam was actually pretty solid for the Heat throughout this game, but what really came down and is a big thing that I wonder if the Heat can adjust and figure out is you just can't have these small guys like Gabe Vincent, Max Cruz, Cody Martin covering a guy like Aaron Gordon. He just dominated him in the first half when those guys were covering him. You pull Bam off because Jokic can stand at the three-point line and be a threat there. I mean, he shoots 47%. He might not chuck up a ton of those three-pointers, but he does shoot well enough to make it a threat that he is standing on the three-point line. And I think that could be a huge factor going forward because if he can keep Bam out of the painted area and everything and allow Eric Gordon to dominate inside the paint, I feel like there's no way the Miami Heat's going to stop this Denver Nugget team, which is already the better team. Let's be real here. The Heat's been on an impressive run, but role players have been playing out of their minds. And can they maintain that through the entire finals? They didn't play that great in Game 1. Realistically, Bam was the best player on that court for the Heat throughout Game 1, but it is really hard to win in Ball Arena. It just is. You know, Denver has dominated there throughout the playoffs. They've dominated there all season. Denver is fantastic at home. I mean, you got the advantage of being way above the sea level, the altitude being insane in Denver, let alone just fans there just happy they finally got a team into the finals. It's been forever. I mean, they've never actually had a team get in the finals. Now, I did see this crazy stat line about the Heat is for the fact that they only shot 2 free throws this entire game, which is not a great recipe for winning the game. Let's be honest here. You gotta shoot free throws to win games, because if you're just not, you're not going to be at the same level as the other guys on the other side who shot a lot more. I mean, Jokic shot more than 2 free throws easily. I mean, I know at least he shot 6 as far as I can remember. You're just not going to win the game if you're not getting free throws. And, you know, you can say, oh, maybe it was bag of calls. But Denver just played great defense. They did not foul. And that was where it was, realistically. They weren't fouling to put them at the free throw line. Just nothing really worked tonight. Now, I do say that the Miami Heat is a team that feels like in these playoffs, they're a team that comes back from behind, not necessarily in the series, but in games. They were down by like 20-something at one point, I believe, in this game. I stopped even paying attention to the game because it was a 20-point blowout. They battled back. I mean, they got into single digits at one point, but they just couldn't quite stop this Denver offense. Jamal Murray had an absolutely amazing game, as he has this entire playoffs. He is just one crazy playoff performer. Like, we talk about how great Jimmy Butler's been in the playoffs, but nobody's really talking about how Jamal Murray has stepped his game up to that next level in these playoffs. You know, everybody can talk. The Joker is amazing. Michael Porter Jr., who doesn't pass the ball, is great at shooting whatever the hell he wants to chuck up there. KCP's had great games, but Jamal Murray is the point and emphasis on why this Denver team is probably going to win the championship, unless Miami makes some really good adjustments and really slow him and Jokic down. But to be honest, Jokic is one of the hardest players to stop in the NBA, just based off the fact that he doesn't have to beat you by shooting. I think he had 1 field goal in the first half or first quarter, but he had 9 assists or something crazy like that. He will kill you in every facet of the game. He does not need to shoot to kill you. He'll do it by just honestly triple-doubling you to death. Which, fun fact, Jokic becomes the second player ever in his finals debut to have a triple-double, which is what he does. I think he's at 9 now in these playoff runs. He's just been absolutely insane with the triple-doubles, and I think Jokic is easily going to win the finals MVP, but I honestly personally think Jamal Murray has a good shot at it if he continues playing good. Now, obviously, it's Game 1. They haven't won it yet, but for the fact that it's nearly impossible to beat them at home, they have home field advantage. And they're just a well-rounded team. I feel like this game one might be a tone setter, as Miami hasn't lost the game one until today. That was the first game one they lost. I just don't know. I don't know if they have enough firepower, to be honest with you. I mean, the East really wasn't as hard as it looked. You know, Boston really isn't quite as good as they looked coming into these series. And you know, Giannis got hurt early on, and then they got the Knicks, which wasn't the craziest team. Like, a lot of people bring up how easy Denver's run there was, but the Lakers was one of the best teams at the trade deadline. They faced the Suns, who had Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Now, that was about it, but they were still great. And they honestly, you know, they got Anthony Edwards, who's an absolute unit in round one, so that could have been a little bit more of a spicy series, but I never really saw Boston as a true threat as the playoffs went on, as they struggled against the Hawks in Philly, and then, I mean, they almost came back from 0-3, but that wasn't going to happen. I honestly think we haven't seen the Miami Heat play a team like the Denver Nuggets, a complete team, a team that's coming off the bench really good. Probably one of the best coaches teams in basketball. I think these are two of the best coaches right now currently in basketball. I just, you know, I mean, Eric Spoelstra, I butchered his name, but he is clearly one of the best coaches in basketball. And Mike Malone, I believe is his name. I might have butchered it, but he's been absolutely fantastic through these playoffs and his entire tenure. And I think, honestly, this is going to be a great series. I really hope it goes 7 just to see some more basketball drag out the season. You know, baseball season mid-swing, but all the other sports are kind of coming to an end right now outside of NASCAR as well. But I just hope this is a good series. You know, I hope it's a blowout, or a 4-game sweep, which is kind of what I'm scared about. Like, did Miami burn everything up to get to this point? Will this end up being a 4-game sweep? But I don't think so. I think this will at least go 6. I think I had Denver winning in 6, so I think that's roughly where it'll end up. But if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.